And so here we are again. 3 tournaments in a row. Win the first game in miserable fashion and then draw the second game. Meaning that once again, we now have to win or at least draw our final match to progress. If we'd have won this game, if we'd have just scored one more goal or not been so lazy after conceding or after scoring our first goal, we'd be through as group winners. Now there's still a possibility we get knocked out. It's that bad. I'm not surprised. I'm not going to sit here and say, oh my God, we played awful. Wasn't it such a shock to see us play so awful? Because it's not a shock. It's never a shock. I sat here this morning and said the only result I can go for is 1-0 England because I still believe in this team. I still think this team should be beating Denmark and we'll play for 1-0. And we did. We played for 1-0. And then we sat back and they equalised and we went, oh no, well, let's make sure we now don't lose and we'll see what happens, and we draw 1-1 and it's one of the worst performances from an England side you've ever seen in your life. And I've come on straight away this time. Obviously I wanted to see what Gareth Southgate had to say last time after the abysmal performance against Serbia that still resulted in a win. But quite frankly, right now Gareth Southgate doesn't deserve any airtime. I'd hesitate to say he doesn't even deserve to breathe his air, let alone have actual TV airtime. It's embarrassing. It is shocking. It's criminal what he is doing with this football team. How you can have that much talent and say to them, stay in your shape, play safe, let them play, get the shackles off, unleash the power that we have available to us. It's absolutely ridiculous. And he'll go on about it and he'll say about how, we spoke about how Jude Bellingham went off script and was our best player the other night. Tonight, Jude Bellingham played on script. Why do you think he played the full 90 minutes? He was the only one in that attacking line in that second half that was still doing the job that Gareth Southgate was telling him to do. Harry Kane was running around everywhere anyway. Harry Kane was everywhere he was supposed to be, other than the actual position he was supposed to be. He was absolutely everywhere else on the pitch, other than the position he was supposed to be. Foden got fed up of being wasted out on the left-hand side. He got so fed up that he started running about, getting himself on the ball, starting to create things for himself, and he takes him off. What sort of message is that sending? How are you leaving the likes of Cole Palmer and Kobbie Mainoo, creative, influential players? How are you leaving players like that on the bench? How are you subbing Conor Gallagher on, who just runs around like a headless chicken and doesn't know what to do with it when he gets the ball? How are you putting him on? How are you deciding to take Trent off? Because, look, I'm not going to sit here and say that Trent had a good game and he didn't deserve to come off. But again, he was playing right CDM. He is a creative player. Let him breathe. Let him drift out to the right. Let him get involved with Bellingham, Foden and Saka. Don't just leave him on his own. And let Declan Rice come in and help him. Let Walker overlap him. Give him options. Give him space. Don't just tell him stay there. What's he supposed to do? Harry Kane's not going to make a run in behind for him, is he? Harry Kane's bloody playing next to him. He's standing in front of him saying, just give me the ball, Trent. I'll do it. I feel so sorry for Trent. He's going to get a lot of hate from his performance today, Trent, and people are going to be saying he was rightfully taken off, but he was given no licence to express himself. I just feel sorry for him. Again, we said about it when we did our Pick the England team. I would have played Trent at right back in these group stage matches. We did not need Kyle Walker today. There was no threat down Denmark's left-hand side. We could have easily just played Trent at right back, played Kobbie Mainoo, or even have been a bit more ambitious than that, played Bellingham deeper, played Foden in the middle, and put an Eze or a Gordon or someone like that out on the left and actually expressed ourselves. But no. That's too dangerous. Don't want to do that. We don't want to take any risks. The biggest risk we are taking is not taking risks. I could go round and round and round and round in circles with this because it is absolutely embarrassing. One thing I will say, the pitch was horrible. There were players out there that were suffering. I think none more so than Declan Rice. People again will come after Rice, especially after James McLean's comments yesterday about Rice being overrated. People are going to come after Rice today because Rice was poor. I'm not going to defend him. He was poor. But every time something was going wrong, Rice was looking down at the pitch. It was clearly playing on his mind. But again, he was being shackled. He wasn't allowed to express himself. He wasn't allowed to drive. He was just sitting, waiting, same as all the other players. And ultimately, we have again been made to pay for just sheer lack of energy and lack of effort due to the instructions from the manager. And that is what I have to say. I cannot have a go at the players for not putting themselves about when you can see they want to put themselves about. The most energetic player wearing an England shirt tonight was Jordan bloody Pickford. It's not his job to motivate people and charge people up the field, but there were several occasions where we got a free kick or we got a loose ball and Jordan Pickford was flying past John Stones and Gahey, then trying to whip Walker and Trippier forward, and they were just walking. Like, show some urgency, like recognise the situation where all we have to do is win this game and we've won the group. Like, do these players, again, I have a go at the manager, but there is a little bit of me that's like, are some of these players thinking, well, if we don't win this game, at least we'll play in the third game and we can have all of the games in our resume. Like, we should be wrapping up the group tonight and then letting the rest of the players express themselves in the game against Slovenia at the weekend. Like, just honestly, it's so simple in my head. Like, I'm not a football manager. It's not my position to criticise Gareth Southgate in terms of how I think he should play. But to me, it's so simple. You just let them go. You allow them to press. The gap between Bellingham, Trent and Rice, then Gallagher and Rice, that gap in midfield was gargantuan. It was massive. I've never seen a hole like it. The only thing was there was no Danish player in there. The only player in the middle of the pitch for the entirety of that second half was the referee. And he had the whole pitch to himself, did the referee. Because there was no Danish player in there. So if there's no Danish player in there, where's the harm in, I don't know, moving 10 yards further up so then the centre-backs can move 10 yards further up and then you can actually start applying a press. I don't understand what the thinking is. I don't understand why it's acceptable to play for a draw against Denmark where we've got to win this match to see up the group. Just win the match. Use the tools at your disposal and win the football match. Absolutely baffling. Absolutely baffling. My player of the match, Mark Gahey, he was absolutely phenomenal. He played Rasmus Højlund off the pitch. And even when Poulsen came on, he gave him troubles as well. He almost made one cock up, albeit that due to a poor pass from Declan Rice once again. But then he got back and made the tackle on Poulsen or whoever it was, or Barr, I think it was. Absolutely outstanding performance from Mark Gahey tonight. He deserves all the plaudits for his performance. But yet again, we shouldn't be relying on one of our two centre-backs to be our key player in a football match that we should just be winning. Let them play. Unleash the potential. Let them be free. Let them drift around the pitch. Let them get on the ball. Let them create chances for each other. Don't just tell them, safe, stay in your shape, hold. The amount of times the camera cut to Gareth Southgate and he was either going like this or going like this. Let them play. You have the best squad of players available to you, arguably ever. And you are wasting them minute by minute, player by player. I already said it. Cole Palmer and Kobbie Mainoo. Kobbie Mainoo played 10 minutes the other night, didn't play today. Cole Palmer has played 0 minutes at this championship. That is an absolute disgrace. Anthony Gordon has played 0 minutes at this tournament. That is an absolute disgrace. I'm not going to have a go at Bowen or Eze because, look, they came on with the instructions that they were given just to take over from Foden and from Saka. But my God, did we need an outlet in Anthony Gordon today. We needed that stretch. You saw the difference it made when Watkins came on. Within 2 minutes, he had done more than what Harry Kane had done in 70. And yes, Harry Kane scored a goal, but I think most of the England squad would have scored that goal, and it was a very, very lucky goal. Whereas once Watkins came on, there was that ball in behind. If only there was someone creative in the midfield that could have played more passes in behind to Watkins. Let's see who we had on there. Oh, it was Conor Gallagher. Just nothing makes sense. You take off Trent for Gallagher, then you bring on Watkins. So the person who's got the best chance of getting the ball to Watkins, you take off 10 minutes before you put on Watkins. Make it make sense. Why was it not Mainoo initially? Why wasn't it so ballsy that we went, do you know what? It's not working out for Trent. Here's what we'll do. We'll put Gordon on the left. We'll put Bellingham back with Rice so he can get on the ball, do his little creative turns and physicality, get the more players involved, and we'll take our best player from the first half, Phil Foden, and we'll put him in the middle where he can really start to hurt the play. Why didn't we do that? Because that would be too risky. Because that would leave us a little bit too exposed. Instead, we'll put Conor Gallagher on to run around, get booked, nearly get sent off because he made 2 more fouls after getting booked, Conor Gallagher, and we'll narrowly see out a 1-1 draw without really threatening anything for the rest of the game. I mean, like I said, I've not really talked about the goals. Obviously, our goal, very, very lucky. Christensen falls asleep. Walker gets round the outside. Why he doesn't pass it to Saka, I don't really know. But he then tries to get it across to Kane. It takes 1 deflection, it takes 2 deflections, and Harry Kane puts it in the back of the net. Poacher's goal, but like I said, Bellingham would have scored that, Foden would have scored that, Saka would have scored that, Watkins would have scored that, Ivan Toney would have scored that. Take your pick, they all would have scored that goal. So well done, Harry Kane, for getting your goal in your 4th consecutive tournament. But realistically, we did not need you on that football pitch today because you were stifling Bellingham, because you were coming in, playing in and around Bellingham instead of letting Bellingham play and actually giving us an option up front. Absolute nonsense. And then, obviously, the Denmark goal. Again, Kane playing at bloody left back because Trippier's taken the throw in. He looks up, sees there's nothing, tries to hoof it downfield, scuffs it into midfield. Everyone's perfectly in their shape because this is what I keep going on about. You've got to stay safe, got to concentrate, got to stay in your shape. So Bellingham doesn't know who to go with because Kane's not there and there's 2 players in midfield for Bellingham to deal with. Trent's in his spot at right CDM. Rice is in his spot at left CDM. Stones is at right centre-back. Gay's at left centre-back. So this midfielder just goes, I can't say it's like Hoyman, whatever his name was, just goes, all right then, I'll just shoot through the middle of the lot of you. Perfect shot. But let's be realistic. Højbjerg had about 7 or 8 shots. The guy who scored had another 4 or 5 shots. Damsgaard had a couple once he came on. We conceded so many shots in that midfield area because we were just allowing them to have the ball in that area of the pitch, allowing them to have the shots on goal because we were in our shape. What? Where's the urgency? Where's the desire? Where's the passion? Where's the thing that's going to get the England fans behind you? Like, I said it. I said we would struggle to get out of the group if we played how we did in the friendlies. Somehow, we've got 4 points from 2 games. We have got a game against Slovenia, who are going to be chomping at the bit after what happened to them against Serbia earlier today. They're going to feel like they've been absolutely robbed. They're on 2 points. Denmark are on 2 points. Slovenia are going to be well up for it. They're going to be so up for it against England, and they're going to give us hell if we play like that again. He needs to rethink everything he knows about how to approach these matches because we just need to let the players play. I've got nothing else. I just think we go away, we let it sit for a couple of days, and we see how we go against Slovenia. But I will keep saying it until the cows come home. Ivory Coast sacked their manager at the end of the group stage because they didn't like the way they were playing. Sack him. Be ballsy. Get rid of him. Put someone in charge who's going to let these players play and give them a chance at actually doing something at this competition. Because if we play like that, firstly, we could just lose to Slovenia and then we'll be out. Secondly, if we don't beat Slovenia, we're going to be playing bloody Germany or France in the next round, and then we're going to be out anyway. And if we somehow manage to get through as the top of the group by somehow beating Slovenia by playing like that and hopefully getting another lucky goal, then we're going to have a tough old fixture in the last 16 anyway, and then we're going to be playing either Italy or Spain in the quarterfinals, and then we're going to lose anyway. Massive, massive, massive job for Gareth Southgate to do this week. And all he has to do is say, I'm going to let you play a little bit more freely. That's all he has to do. But that is still a massive job for him to do because it goes against everything that he thinks is what we should be doing. Let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below. Thank you very much for watching as always. Don't forget to check out my Copa America predictions that I made earlier on this afternoon. I'll see you tomorrow morning for my next round of Euros predictions.